Alright guys, here we are again with another 1500 point UK GT batrep preparation report. Today we've got Simon and Cooper. I'm going to quickly go through the armies before we get started. So, who's going to start us off?
Matthew?
Yeah.
Matthew.
Yeah. Right, so hi again guys. We're rocking the same list as I had last batrep just before the D platforms and the Wraith Knight is built. So start off here, we've got our Farseer riding at the front of the army. Then we've got 6 squads of 4-man Skitarbikes, so they're all armed with scatter lasers. And then 3 units of 3 Hornets, all with pulse lasers. Once again, it's a very small, spammy list. Yeah, that's it. There's not really much more to elaborate on.
Was there any tactical thought that went into the list?
Nah, not really.
No. No, there was not.
Repeat, right?
If in doubt. Okay, and over to Simon. What have you got for us today?
Okay, I am rocking the all the War Gears free formation. So
The cheaty formation.
cheatsy doodles. So Cult Mechnicus detachment, Dominus, and then 2 units of Cataphren destroyers. 1 unit with Grav, the other unit with Haywire. And then you have the Skitarii battle maniple, which is a unit of Rangers kitted out with Haywire. A unit of Vanguard kitted out with Plasma. Rust Stalkers, Infiltrators, unit of Dragoons, and a Krusty the Crab. And then finally a Knight with, it's a Warden, so he's got the Avenger, Gatling Cannon and the missile pod on the top, and then the melter gun as well. So all the War Gears free, ignores gets hot from with everything that's got Plasma, and yeah, it's a gnarly list. It's good.
Loads of free war gear, loads of free special rules. Just how we like it. Okay guys, we're going to set up for the game and we will come back to talk you through deployment. Alright, we are all set up and ready to go. The mission is number 4 from the GT tournament pack, which is Vanguard Strike and Big Guns Never Tire with 4 objectives. So, who deployed first?
Matthew?
Matt, do you want to take us through deployment?
Yeah. So basically I have where the bikes are is where they were, just sort of set up a little more aggressively than last time. So like I learned in the last game, I was a bit too much of a wussy with them. So I sort of put them forward a bit and just sort of try to suppress Simon a bit. These Hornets were snuck up behind this building here. These ones were snuck up behind this building here. And the last 3 were hidden up behind this building here as well. So basically, yeah, I just tried to hide them a bit in case Simon seized on me. But we've got scout moves anyway, so I've moved these around here to counter Simon's Rust Stalkers and Infiltrators that are here. And then I just sort of moved these 2 squads over here, over to this side to try and outweigh the Knight and the Dragoons and all the veterans and whatever they are that are over there, to just sort of try and counter them a little bit. So hopefully he won't seize on me. I can see it happening because everyone does. I love a good seize. But if he doesn't, then I'm quite hoping high for this. So we'll see how it goes.
It's worth mentioning these guys played this game off camera last week, so they've got kind of a good idea of what the other army is going to do. So deployment is considered after last week, I think is the way to put it. Simon, take us through your deployment.
Okay, so as Matt rightly said, he's deployed quite aggressively, so I need to try and counter that by securing as many cover saves as I can. So the over here, the Infiltrators and the Rust Stalkers, the Infiltrators infiltrated and scouted, so they're in the ruin, and then the Rust Stalkers scouted, so they're partially in the ruin as well. And my Warlord trait was Conquer of Cities, so that +1 was stealth in ruin, so that's really handy versus an army like this. Over here, the bulk of my army, they've held back and they're securing objective number 1. So that's the Cataphrons. They're just deployed quite strategically so they can get fire on anything, and obviously there's objective there and here, so I'm forcing him into like a sort of funnel. There's a sort of Spartan approach to force him towards me. And then over here, just bum rush. The Vanguard have tried to loop around to get that ruin and then get close to objective number 3. So that's it. That's my deployment.
Okay, so you are going to roll the C's, attempt C's.
Yeah. You fucking dare.
So I set my hand first?
No, I want to shake the damn hand.
Have a good game, dude.
Have a good one, man.
Ah, there's the one.
It's a bumming time.
You'll go.
Have a good one, do that.
Alright, so we will come back at the top of turn 1 and see what the Eldar can do.
Cool.
Okay, top of turn 1, Cooper, take us through the first turn.
Yeah. Quite a good turn for me actually. I didn't expect to do as well as I did, but hey ho. So right, the bikes that were all sat down here all sort of just jumped up to make an advance on the Rust Stalkers and the Infiltrators. The same with the Hornets, they swooped around here. Swooped, if that's a real word. It's nice to make one up. Then these bikes jumped over to here just to sort of get eyes on the squads that were here. And the same with the Hornets, all just sort of pushed down around this side to get eyes onto the Dragoons and the, what are they, the Veterans? Vanguard Veterans?
They are Rangers.
The Rangers. So basically for the psychic phase, my fastest was down here. I didn't explain earlier what he got, sorry. So he rolled on Divination and got Prescience and Forewarning. And then he rolled on the Eldar one, but I took it to the Primus power, so he's got Guide as well. So basically he twin linked his bike unit and he twin linked the Hornets that were sat here. Both was cast successfully. So these two units smashed a load of fire into the
Infiltrators.
The Infiltrators.
Sorry.
The Rust Stalkers?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had Rust Stalkers, so we managed to drop the Rust Stalkers and got first blood, which is cool. Forced them to go to ground anyway, so if I didn't drop them, they weren't going to assault, but they weren't assaulting anyway because they infiltrated. No, sorry, they scouted. Then the other 2-3 squadrons fired into the other squad that are here. I think I dropped 2. Yeah, dropped 2, but I caused them to go to ground as well, so it's, yeah, effective fire's working well. Then this squad of bikes that smashed up here fired into the guys that were down here, killed 5, the only 5 that I could see. Saim-Hann went to ground again anyway to get a better cover save, but unfortunately his dice rolling didn't sort of help him there. The Hornets that were back here fired into the Dragoon and dropped in there. This guy managed to save his saves, didn't he? Yeah, he made the cover saves anyway, so he's all good. And then the other bike squad that were here fired at these, forced them to go to ground, only killed 1. Saim-Hann had some really good rolling there. And then this Hornet squad here popped some shots onto there and took 3 wounds off the Knight, which is quite good. I managed to roll a 6 on the penetrating for a D3, but I only got 2, so that and a glance went through, so dropped them down to 3 wounds. Then after that, I'm going to do my Jetbike moves because I know it's quite confusing when we videoed last time doing the Jetbike moves and then trying to explain where the bikes were. So I'll do my Jetbike moves later, and then
you'll see where they are during Simon's turn.
Exactly. Yeah. Saves a lot of confusion. But other than that, I think it went really well for me. I forced the units I wanted to go to ground that were gonna put me to Jenkins. So yeah, I think it's a lot better. I think this is the first game I've ever played against Admech where I've had the first turn. So them not having their 2-up cover saves, and that's really worked out in my favour. So managed to stop the Alpha Strike, which has done me well. So happy days.
All right, we'll check in at the bottom of turn 1 with Simon and the Admech. Bottom of turn 1, Simon, give us a rundown of what's happened.
Okay, so for the canticles, I activated a Stealth Enshrouded, so I've still got enough units on the board to rock that. So everything's rocking a 2-up cover save now, so that's good.
Awesome.
In the game. Skitarii wise, I used +1 BS because everything went to ground last turn. I didn't want to waste the Fearless one just to get that 1 unit there to shoot. So
they weren't going to be in range or anything anyway.
Well, yeah, exactly. So it was only really the Onager that benefited from that, but he killed a Hornet, didn't he?
Yeah, he got a Hornet, he forced him to Jinx.
So yeah, in the shooting phase, the Onager took out 1 Hornet, a Knight took out 1 Hornet, and he didn't manage to kill a bike because you made your Jinx save.
Yeah.
But that means that there's 2 units that have now been forced to Jinx. And that's pretty much it. So I mean, I dropped 2 Hornets and I forced 2 units to Jinx, and everything's rocking a 2-up, so it should be more durable this turn than last turn. Let's see. Bless you. Let's see how we go.
Looking at the end game. All right, we'll catch up at the top of turn 2. Turn 2.
Yeah, really another good turn for me actually. So these 3 squads here just sort of moved around and concentrated on his last 2 Rust Stalkers that were in there.
Yeah.
He activated his canticles of 2-up cover save last turn, so I had to sort of wait a lot of fire into him because he was rolling hot. So these guys also fired into him as well. They'd done their jetpack moves. Sorry guys, we did our jetpack moves. I completely forgot, but I didn't do much. It was only these 2 the jetpack moved, so they were here. So I said these guys fired into the Rust Stalkers and only just dropped him, which was luckily for me. These 4 took pot shots into the Caterpillar truck guys up here.
Caterpillar destroyers.
Like I say, he's got a 2-up cover save, so he bounced them off his armour really. And then the Hornets and the bikes just put a ton of fire into his Dragoon that was rocking the 2-up cover save as well. So basically, yeah, I know I had to drop him, otherwise he was going to get into combat with me next turn. So yeah, I took him out. With the psychic, sorry, we'll go back. He twin linked his squad here and twin linked these guys there. Nothing much really special happened, to be honest. I just got to sort of stay out of his range, use my jetbikes to their full advantage and dance forward and dance back, pop some shots off. So yeah, really good. And try and avoid the knight, but hopefully I've got enough hornets that will weigh him down next turn. So it's looking quite good for me, I think. Don't want to speak too soon, but we'll see.
Alright, check him aside at the bottom of turn 2. Bottom of turn 2, Simon, take us through it.
Okay, so kind of like my last turn, so I've gone +2 BS with the Skitarii maniple, and then shrouded for everything that's in the ruins, because I'm now down to 7 units. So 7 units are left on the board, so I'm rocking. I still get shrouded. So didn't really have most of my army's out of range. Matt's obviously used his jetpack move to stay out of range. So the only things that were in range were the Onager here and the Knight. So the Onager dropped 2 Hornets over there, which was pretty gnarly. That was good. And then the Knight dropped a unit of Jetbikes here at the front there, and then forced that unit of Hornets to jink. So slowly whittling them down. It is working slowly. And
the advantage of GT rule pack being that actually you don't need to be aggressive during the game. You just need to survive till the end of it to get on the objectives.
Yeah,
with no maelstrom, you know, it's a bit different.
It is a different game completely. Yeah, I agree. But I think Matt still obviously has a big advantage with he just has so many more mobile units than I do, and obviously they're obsec too. So it'll be a tough game to hold, to hang in there. But we'll see what Admec can do.
All right, we'll check in with Cooper at the top of turn 3. Top of turn 3, Cooper takes through what happened.
Yeah, just sort of move my bikes around here. I'm going to try and sweep across, if that makes sense. I'll try and avoid the knight until he comes out of cover, but he hasn't got his super good countercalls of cover saves next turn, so just trying to stay out of range of him for shooting at me, and then I can start pummeling shots into him with that 2-up cover save, which is quite cool. So yeah, like I said, I just sort of pulled up to here, got within 36 inches of range just to shoot at the
Cat fronds.
Yeah, the cat frongs. Cadawerathong. I put a ton of shots into him and only took 3 wounds, but I mean, what do you mean? He's got a 2-up cover save. So that was pretty much this squad, and this squad. These 2 here were twin linked with the Farseer, but he perils on the guide.
Yeah.
Yeah, and me being a noob, completely forgot to save one of my dice from the helm. So I perils, and he took a wound and lost guide. So he's rocking a migraine this turn. These guys were only snap shooting, but I pulled away to try and get away from the knight, and they're going to then boost 18 to hide there when he shoots, so you won't be able to see him. And these guys had a pop shot at the ones at the bottom floor. Are they cat frongs as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. I managed to take a wound, but like I said, 2-up cover save again anyway, so meh. There's not really much I can do. Other than that, I'll do my turbo boosts, and you'll see at the start of size turn where they go. I'm just sort of going to make an advance on it now, I hope, and see if I can start killing things a little easier. But other than that, that's me.
Back in a minute. Alright, bottom of turn 3, someone give us a rundown.
Okay, so with this turn, I'm still trying to whittle down his troops and also try to survive as much as I can. So I've tried to keep everything in the back. So the knight's out of range of the 2 units of hornets, but the bikes are still in range of everything else. So with the canticles, I used reroll 1s and 2s because I've got 7 units left on the board. And I used BS7 for the Skitarii, so I mean that only affected the Onager that's there. So the Onager dropped 2 Hornets, which was really gnarly, that was cool. Had a good roll with the Strength 7 AP2 missile. I managed the pen and then rolled a 6, and Matt rolled his pink dice, which are poo. And then the Knight wailed on, was it 1 bike over here with the...
Yeah, smash. No, that didn't do anything there, did it? Yeah, it got 1 there.
So I took out one bike with the Strength 8 AP3 missile, and then I took out 3 bikes over there, but there was 1 bike that was left that I couldn't see. So
they got pooped.
Slowly whittling them down, still in a comfortable area so I can secure 2 objectives. So It's just trying to play the long game with Skitarii. Although they get really good cover saves, if you have anything that ignores cover, you're just going to tear them apart. But yeah, it's going okay.
Alright, we'll check back in top of turn 4. Alright, top of turn 4, Cooper, take us through it.
Yeah, it's not really a lot to explain, to be honest. Just moved the bike, sort of just shoved up a bit. These guys just came around here and the Hornets pushed around the side. That is 2 squads there. It's one of the fronts on his own and the 2 at the back are a squad. Just did what Eldar do really. I put a lot of shots into his 2 units of, what are they called again? Cataphrons. Didn't do any wounds, but I forced him to go to ground, so they're all snap shooting next turn, which is cool. Yeah, he saved everything. He's had some really good saves, so yeah. The Hornets put a load of fire into the Onager as well, but he saved all his cover saves bar 1, and I mobilised him.
Yes.
But he'll probably fix it next turn because he's gay and mechs suck.
Nothing wrong with being gay, man.
Other than that, yeah, I'll do my jump pack moves in a minute, and I've just really got to sort of hold out and just go and collect the objectives by turn 5. So next turn, I was going to grab some objectives, see what happens. Yeah, other than that, not really eventful, but I made them go to ground, so he's only hit me on 6s, so I can just sort of move up on him now and try and put more fire into him, and if he goes to ground again, then hey. Yeah, hey ho.
Alright, check back in a minute. Bottom of turn 4, Simon, take us through it.
Okay, with this turn, I've used up all my good canticles and Skitarii thingies, so I didn't bother to use any this turn. So both Cataphrone squads went to ground. The Destroyers had the, I don't know the name of it, there's so many new names for this army. The Dominus had the Warlord thingy that allows me to Overwatch at BS2, so that was cool. So the Grav squad shot at the bike squad here, so I took down one bike.
Yeah, one bike, 400
I had some pretty crappy rolls to win, but I had some good rolls to hit, so I can't moan, and I won't moan. The Knight, he split up his shot, so he put the Avenger Gatling Cannon at the squad of 3 bikes that were here, took those down, and then he put the missile pods on top into the 1 bike that was left over here and took them down. And finally the Onager, who's really pulling the game back for me, he took down the last Hornet that was here, so there's only 2 Hornets left on the board, which means there's only 2 real threats to the Knight, which is good. It means that it gives me a bit of hope to stay in the game. So I think it's much more of a game now than it was on turn 1 and 2, but see, Matt still has a lot of bikes left, so see what he can do, yeah.
Alright, we'll check in on what might be the last turn of the game in a minute. Top of turn 5, Cooper, give us a little review.
Yeah, not a great turn for me. Sai had some good rolls and saves. So yeah, so these bikes were pushed out here a little bit. They're just going to hold that objective now. These guys were up here, and these guys were around here. I put a lot of shots from these 2 squads into the Cataphrons, or whatever they are, but you failed.
One
2,
died.
yeah, one died. We dropped 2 wounds off one, so that's alright.
One wound off one.
One wound off
I've
one.
only got 2 wounds each, yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, so we killed one. So not too bad. These Jinked guys had a pop shot as well, didn't hit any. And the Hornets put a ton of shots into this guy, but didn't really do many penetratings or glancings. I did one glance and Sai saved it. So he's been a bit of a hero today as well. Him and Yanaga have really held sign to it, I think. Yeah, my dice rolling has gone a bit poopy now. So I then tried to jump these guys back to get to there just in case the Hornets got destroyed that turn, but I rolled Snake Eyes on the jump pack move. These guys just tucked themselves in a little bit. I was hoping I could have forced enough wounds on these guys to make them go to ground, but like I said, the dice rolling to wound wasn't great. And then these guys that were here just hid behind here. I'm going to try and stay out of the way of the Knight, but with his movement and his range, I think he's a solid unit. He's going to get something either way. So other than that, I've just got to try and jump around and hope that we go on to the next turn. Maybe I don't know. We'll have to see what the scores are and try and counter it and see what I can do. But yeah, so the dice sort of betrayed me a little bit now.
Alright, we're checking at the end of turn 5 to roll see if the game goes on. Alright, bottom of turn 5 is going well for Skitarii. Simon, talk us through it.
Okay, so Ollie's right. I think Skitarii are in a good position right now. Matt's obviously feeling very jealous. So for the canticles, I used the one that gives everything stubborn and reroll failed morale checks. That's really good for sitting on objective. So the Cataphrons over here just sat on objective marker number 1. The Vanguard ran through the ruin to hold on to objective marker number 3. The Onager pushed up because it was restored by the Dominus last turn. So he's now over here. He got sight on the Hornets that are holding Matt's objective in the backfield over here. So he dropped the first Hornet. Then the Knight dropped the second one with the Avenger bolt cannon. So that was really, really important. I only managed to do 1 penetrating hit and then...
1 pen and a miss. I did a pen as well and I failed both jinx. Yeah. I'm retarded.
And so that was really important for this turn. And then the Grav Cataphrons caused 2 wounds on the Farseer squad. Again, this is another important move for this turn, and Matt unfortunately failed his morale check, so he had to abandon objective marker number 4. So that was a really good turn for me. I think the luck came back to the Admech side, so that was really, really good. It is turn 5, so we need to roll to see if it goes on. So Matt,
it does! I do not like dice. It's going to be
so we need a 1 or a 2.
Wait!
It goes on. Yay!
Okay, we'll check back in at the top of turn 6.
Dupe this.
Alright, top of turn 6. Nice quick one, keep 6 through it.
Yeah, just try and hide in and being a scared little Eldar, really. These guys shifted over here to try and hold this objective. The big scaredy Farseer managed to rally. They're sat now out in the open for a night, I think, to shred, and these guys up here. And these guys came along here, fired at the Vanguard.
Yeah.
And I think I tanked 8 wounds on him and he only died twice.
Yeah.
2
wounds, 2 dead.
Yeah, so Simon's rolling really hot again. I'm thin on the ground. I think Sai's probably going to take it this turn with the Knight will absolutely smash them and he'll take Warlord. I think these guys are going to shred these guys. And then I'm going to have an objective there, but Sai's going to hold 3 by the end of it. Yes, that's my turn. Not great, unfortunately. And thumbs down.
Alright, we'll check back in at the bottom of turn 6. Alright, bottom of turn 6, another good one for the Skitarii. Simon, take us through it.
Yeah, it was a good turn. Unfortunately, Matt was quite looking quite thin with troops, so it's just a case of mopping up the
I'm looking damn thin if I don't say so myself.
leftover bike. So the Onager had a pop shot the bikes over there, but didn't manage to take any out. The Knight shot his melter gun into the bikes that were there. Didn't wound. Rolled a 1, classic melter.
Oh no, yeah.
Then he shot his 3 missiles at the unit there, killed 1 bike.
Yeah, the last one that was there.
And then he put the Avenger Gatling Cannon into the unit of his Farseer, which was his Warlord, and the 1 bike, managed to take them out. And then the Vanguard here and the 1 Ranger Rick, they took down the last 3 bikes. So that took them off that objective. So am I holding that objective?
Yeah. You're well within 3.
So
right?
I'm within 3 of that objective, and I'm also within Matt's deployment edge. So we'll roll to see if the game goes on.
Yeah, man.
It does go on.
The game does go on a 5.
I'm gonna call it there, mate. I'll pull the trigger. Yeah.
Good game.
You bummed me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's tally up the scores.
Yeah, we'll come back in a second with the review and the final scores. Okay, so at the end of turn 6 we called it. Simon, you going to take us through the scores?
Yeah, so primary was 20...
So you won the primary 6-3.
I don't even know what the score was.
So
Simon,
Simon won the primary 6-3, which in the GT pack means he gets 27 points and Cooper gets 1.
That's good.
And then Simon also got Linebreaker and Warlord.
Yeah.
So Simon finishes on 29. Cooper got First Blood. So we finish up at 29-2 to the Admech Skitarii Knight War Convocation combination of cheatiness.
plus 300 points on any other army, please.
Yeah, I'm sure there are loads of people crying right now for Eldar. Just crying, feeling really sorry for you and your 20.
I'm doing no justice for Eldar.
Alright, so we'll save the winner till the end. Cooper, talk us through what you thought of the army. What went well? What could you have done better?
Yeah, Eldar are good. They're really good. Like I said, I just don't do Eldar any justice. I'm a terrible fucking gamer, so I like to blame the dice a lot. With this list, I know a lot of guys have said on the internet it needs something else, and it's very 2-dimensional. It's a lot of bikes, a lot of Hornets. Yeah, if you get the first turn and you can pin the Hornets down, that's probably 50% of the army's firepower. If you force them to jink, then yes, probably 50% of the army's firepower is hitting on 6s, so it's not great. So like I said, I'm definitely going to drop the Hornet, drop a couple Hornets, try and get a Knight in, try and get the D platforms, and just sort of bulk the army out a bit more for an all-roundness. It's a good list, don't get me wrong, but like I say, when you force the Hornets to jink, I've lost 12 shots, so, you know, they're going to be hitting on 6s, so yeah, definitely going to change the army up.
Anything about how you played it?
Yeah, well, it went really well the first couple of turns.
It did look like it was going to be a complete whitewash.
Yeah, I can't blame the dice, but I'm going to blame the dice.
Nothing else to blame.
There's nothing else to blame, yeah. Except for the alcohol. Blame it on the alcohol. Yeah, like I said, Simon's dice rolls got really hot with the cover saves, and I was trying to force him out of cover. I couldn't. I forced him to go to ground, but then, like I said, the last couple of turns.
Yeah, maybe you could have focused your Hornets fire a little bit more on the Knight. If that had gone, it would have freed you up to move around a little bit more and put pressure on his backfield.
Yeah, but then like I said, I tried to hit the Onager, but he was still in cover. I did do a wound. I managed to mobilise it. Then his Dominatus, managed to heal it. So it was a bit annoying. If I just kept him immobilised, I could have then peeled around this way and probably picked off the Knight, but. Like I said, Simon got really hot with his dice. My dice sucked, as always. Like I say, it's just unfortunate. I did the first 2 turns really well. Then after that, I just sort of whiffed, and as I said, don't hold me accountable for Eldar playing. My bad. I'm sorry. I need more D.
All right, and over to the winner, Simon.
Hello.
Thoughts?
It's a very emotional army to play because it's so fucking weedy. Excuse the F word. You just think that
there was a long time of you just sitting there,
you just
hunkered down, shitting your panties,
you don't
hoping
feel
you
good.
didn't die.
I mean, you have all these you get feel no pain on everything. You can't take feel no pain because you're only toughness 3 and you're weedy. But it's amazing how resilient they are despite their stat line. But I mean, that's a special rule.
Yeah, the canticles of Stealth Enshrouded is in combination with getting a good Warlord trait to give you Stealth in the Ruins as well was
does the army justice, massive justice.
Well, it's not even that. It's also this thing with Fearless. There's a canticle that lets your whole army becomes fearless. So if you go to ground on the first turn, even if you lose the first turn, so the other guy goes first, you go to ground, and then in your next turn you just activate the fearless thing, so you can get back up. So you can still, and if you go for strategic, like I managed to get, I got +1 in Ruin, so I'm getting the tilt cover save anyway. So that was massively helpful. Although I lost the Infiltrators and the Ruststalkers, if I didn't have that, they would have got taken out even quicker.
Well, I said I put a lot of weight of fire into them in the first couple of turns. If I dropped them a lot earlier, then I could have focused more on here. But because I had to put a lot of firepower into them, then But you played really well, man. Really well.
Merci.
Right. Any more thoughts on like the GT packet in general, or 1500 points? How we're finding it after what we played now, 3 or 4 games?
I like how we're playing it, but we're not playing it how we're probably going to see. I mean, there's going to be Revenants, there's going to be Warhounds, there's going to be ridiculously good monsters there. So
we'll get a bat rep with the Revenant done pretty soon. We've got a bat rep with the Harridan. Is that with the Harridan?
Yeah, we got the Harridan.
We got a bat rep with the Harridan recorded. Safe to say we don't need to worry about those.
If there's lots of Hornets, we don't need to worry about those.
What we talked earlier about how not having Maelstrom changed the game a little bit. What did you guys think of that in this game with no Maelstrom?
We made a really good observation because with Maelstrom.
If we say so ourselves, we made a really good observation.
I think
because you know we're really good at 40k as well.
So with Maelstrom, it forces units like Jetbikes and foot slogging units to push up the board and sacrifice your good cover saves. Whereas with
this became a bit of a Mexican standoff, didn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit annoying.
Yeah, it's like pew pew.
I think this army that I had would be freaking awesome for Maelstrom because they go pick up the objectives. So I'll get my words out. They'll go pick up the objectives. They can jump back, hide, shoot, then go out and get more objectives, score the points, and happy days. But because it's more of you need to go and get the objective and hold it, they're good, but they're not great. I really like Maelstrom and I want it back. I want it back now.
You get one. There's 2 missions with Maelstrom.
There's 2.
You get 2.
Never happy. When we've got Maelstrom, it's shit. When we haven't got Maelstrom, oh man.
I just want to win games.
I miss Maelstrom. Alright guys, so hope you enjoyed it. We're going to be back soon with some more bat reps involving Revenants. Hopefully, Si will also get out the Tyranids.
That's my name's Alan.
If we can get our hands on a copy of the Codex, we are planning to give the new Dark Angels a run out as well, to keep giving you guys a look at the newest books. As always, if you've enjoyed the batrep, then please do like, share, subscribe, and put it wherever you want. All the comments help as well. Stick it wherever you'd like to stick it, we don't mind. If you didn't like it, feel free to stick it fucking anywhere. We'll be back soon.
Peace, guys.
Adios.